Great job by Andre Q, but nobody can touch. Oh, no way. Lebda so far has proven to be one of the best pairs.
This is something that this region is known for.
Oh, no way Hybrid hit that shot.
Nothing short of magnificent. Dude. He's trick shotting.
I mean, what an exciting time.
From this moment, welcome to Overwatch Contenders.
Everybody, the Calling All Heroes Radiant Major 2 is coming up, obviously, so the registration is open and it closes on June 27th at midnight. So if you want to sign up, go to start.gg/callingallheroes or CAH_Major 2. If you want to sign up for that, and make sure to check out all of those details via that website link and try to sign up before June 27th when those signups close. And Moxie, obviously, we have our own tournament, our own kind of major going on over here for Contenders. And we have the lower brackets now between Oh Yeah and Triple Esports, and shenanigans is the best way that I think you described it. I think we're in for a bit of a treat for this one.
Oh, it's, you know, when Oh Yeah play, it's always going to be fun. It's always going to be crazy. It's always going to be chaotic as well. When we talk to them in interviews, they're like, yeah, we just try and make it as chaotic as possible. That is really where they thrive, as this is a matchup that I have been waiting to see whether or not we're going to see anything new from the side of Oh Yeah. And straight away, we are seeing something new. Kaya is not going to be fielded. Instead, they are going to be fielding Love. So they're going to go for that hit scan angle because they've looked at Triple's roster. They've seen who's in the starting lineup. The boss music is starting to play in the background, Dustin. And yeah, you absolutely want a hit scan when you're playing up against this team.
For sure. And, you know, I think a lot of Oh Yeah success really has come off the back, as well as, like you mentioned, you know, having Kai in the lineup, and Kaiser has been playing phenomenal, but Chasm really has been a standout player on that wrecking ball. I think that obviously he's got a lot of fans because he plays such an interesting hero that's incredibly high skill cap and really can pull off a lot of things that other wrecking ball players cannot. I mean, there's like, I probably could count literally on one hand the amount of top tier wrecking ball players. That's how hard the character is to play for a lot of people. But, you know, he is against Triple Esports and the likes of Yazan, like you said, one of the best players we have on Pharah. It's so interesting that, you know, this team, Triple Esports, looks like they're going to continue to run that Pharah composition, Moxie, where obviously you talk to Twisted Minds, who also play a similar composition. They said the Pharah comp, Moxie, feels like it's very hard to play at the moment. It feels like everybody needs to be playing on all cylinders. Is that fair to say for Triple Esports that they could do that, you know, in this lineup with legendary Yazan and Mo?
Well, we have seen in the past when Triple and Twisted Minds went toe-to-toe. An amazing match, by the way. If you missed last week, absolutely go look at the VODs, because we got to see that matchup of Yazan versus Lambda, the potential rematch as well in the grand finals if Triple Esports are able to make it past Oh Yeah and EXO, who are waiting to be able to go up against the winner of this matchup. And Yazan was the one that came out on top in King's Row. He did like 19,000 damage. It was absolutely insane. The problem, however, for Triple Esports is going to stem from the fact that if Yazan is on the Pharah, Ange is going to be on the Mercy, and Chasm, as a result, is going to have one less player to have to worry about, and one is going to have one less player to be able to peel for them, because the amount of time it takes for Guardian Angel to get back into your backline and away from your Pharah, Chasm's most likely going to have locked down the pick and already be on another side of the map entirely.
Yeah, we'll have to see who comes out on top. I mean, obviously, Triple Esports will have that Pharah player to continue to deal pressure on Oh Yeah, and it seems like you said, Oh Yeah are a bit on the back foot, right? Already, just with the players that they've picked for the matchup, obviously having to try to counter that Pharah, you can tell that's in their mindset. Meanwhile, for Triple Esports, they're just happy running their typical lineup, and you know, that's already step one to this chess match between these two teams. Which the first map, Moxie, will be Antarctic Peninsula, the very first control map between these two teams. What comp do you think is even favored here, Moxie? Would it be that Sojourn, more prototypical, you know, composition with the Ramattra, or do you think the Pharah has its points, or even the Wrecking Ball? What really has the advantage on this map?
So Chasm knows all of these tech points for Antarctic. Icebreaker in particular is where you really need to watch out for the Wrecking Ball, being able to knock some of those players off the map as well as places like on Labs 2. The Far is going to have a lot of value in places like Icebreaker as well, because there's a lot of high skyboxes. You're immediately going to be able to apply so much pressure onto the side of Oya as they come through from those chokes. But crucially, I really want to actually emphasize this. Love is starting off instead of Kaya. Icebreaker is all about these maps where there are incredibly enclosed spaces where a Junkrat should be able to find absolute prime real estate. In fact, this is the first time we're actually going to see Oya fielding Love over Kaya when we head over to this map. And I think a big impact has actually been that they watched Triple versus Twisted Minds last week, and they saw the impact of Quartz when he was on Cassidy on Esperanza, being able to deal with Yazan, because we were casting that match. We got literal front row seats to seeing what happened when that Pharah was just being two-tapped consistently by a Cassidy, and One and Aunt just were not able to output the healing necessary because Aunt stayed on that Mercy far too long, and Yazan can only really feel towards that Mei if he gets pushed off of that Pharah pick. So they are putting so much faith on Love to hit those shots that they are immediately moving away from a win condition that has been their trump card on this map in the past.
Yeah, it's going to be scary for the side of, obviously. But like you said, at times Cassidy can really do a good job shutting down those Pharah players. We'll see if Love could do that on the side. You have to be an absolute standout hit scan player. So really a lot of pressure will be on him. But that's kind of why, I was kind of alluding to it, Moxie, where it feels like, because they've already made that swap, doesn't it seem like they're already kind of, one step back, already kind of in a defensive position to try to deal with Triple Esports in that Pharah composition? Or, maybe this is actually all part of the plan and Love's gonna have a pop-off game?
Love's been popping off in the past. Like, Love has had some incredibly standout moments in Contenders in past matchups, and you're also going to be able to have really good synergy with Chasm on that Wrecking Ball too, something that we talked about in length last time we saw Oya playing, because the synergy with Chasm, where we would see that ball crowd controlling these players with the pile drives straight into spam damage, or icicles coming through from Kaiser. But if you think that Oya are starting off on the back foot and trying to play reactionary, well, you're probably going to be thinking that Triple Esports are going to be able to come out on top, and you're going to be putting two into our chat if you think Oya are going to be able to pull through, given the fact that the last time they played this team, they did take a loss, but it was only against these two Pharah teams that Oya lost against in the regular season. Get us up with a number one, as we are going to be starting off not on Icebreaker, not on sub-level. It is going to be one of those Pharah/Echo favorite maps. It's going to be Labs, so a lot of prerogative for Oya to win that first fight, to immediately weaken any impact from Yazan early on.
Opening up, Yazan looks like he is opting at playing the Echo for this fight. Love on the Sombra, actually, of all things. So no Cassidy coming through to try to support Chasm in his dives. Maybe a bit of a change up for them in terms of that composition. Meanwhile, Legendary rolling out on the Ashe.
Yeah, Legendary on that Ashe to provide even more of a crossfire, but Love is going to be trying to set up, looking for that first hack. Might decide to actually put it onto the Echo as Chasm looks for the dive.
Ooh, and a nice anti-nade as well, but the peel is there with the DM. Maybe eventually they do kill Yazan. The Resurrect is here though, and Legendary's traded back Love, so they committed so much to winning and getting those first kills early on, but it results in now Triple Esports having the advantage. Mo goes really aggressive without defensive matrix, actually loses his mech, but it does create space for Yazan to find Isaac as well. Oya still could touch this point, but it looks like they're just going to play around the outside. Maybe wait for Isaac to come back as Chasm looks for some angles on the outside. He has to deal with Yazan, who's hunting him down.
Yeah, that aggressive push from Mo with those boosters, despite lacking defense matrix, guaranteed that there was no peel for Isaac, who got taken down by Yazan in the backline. But Kaiser,
whoa! What a shot!
Back double primary headshots coming through. Immediately going to push Triple Esports back and allow Oya to come in with that flip.
Oh my god, two insane shots back to back. Crazy from Kaiser, who I talk about her so much, and that gives Oya the point off the back of those fantastic icicle shots. And now Yazan is above the point, does have a copy in just a moment. Kaiser's pressured out as well. The sleep dart comes through, does not connect. The amp matrix here as well. Isaac goes down early yet again. The copy from Yazan is here towards the point. They're already up a member. Chasm does trade it back, though. One falls. Nano Boost almost available for Yazan on the copy. Gives it to Legendary, who then takes down Kaiser. The rotate now comes through onto the point. They sustain here as well on the Chasm, who tried to come through and touch. Unfortunately, he cannot, and lose that objective at Triple Esports.
Yeah, domino effects, unfortunately. Isaac going down, Coolboy trying to throw out that lamp, but it being just a little bit too late to save the Ana means that they don't have that stall that Oya are looking for, and they cannot commit that Blizzard to be able to stall for Love to be able to hit this EMP. And as a result, Triple Esports can now divide themselves into split dimensions, so EMP doesn't catch a brunt of them. Hack comes out early onto Legendary, but no kill.
No kill just yet either. They're reclaiming that point, dropping the Wrecking Ball mines here as well. Almost goes to full, but Bob is there to touch the objective before it flips on the other side. Meanwhile, Nano Boost from Yazan to also go aggressive on the Kaiser, who drops a Blizzard on the other side, has the sustain to the damage of Yazan. Great work from the supports of Aya to keep him alive. Kaiser as well with the positioning to avoid a lot of that damage. Also gets the Nano, knowing Triple Esports target is him. Eventually, Anj goes down because the fight has lasted long enough, and it's kind of working in towards their advantage. Also get Sleep Dart stagger onto Mo.
Oh, and they had managed to flip the point as well incredibly early on. Now we're going to see the stagger onto the Baby Diva to make sure that they get even more time. Yazan, seeing that there's no hit scan on the other side, decides to opt into that Pharah to be able to play from a little bit more of a distance to make it harder for Love to find that room to be able to look for that hack onto the Pharmacy composition. Should be able to play further away, especially since he's able to avoid that Sleep Dart coming through.
Love deep into the back line. Eventually we'll have to translocate out. Now is above that point as Legendary now pushes forward. Does get those heals from Anj as he attempts to move in, but Chasm is doing a great job with Love to just constantly harass this back line, being on the right targets at the right time. Maywall from Kaiser here as well. Mo does have that Diva already go. The hack comes through onto Yazan, but it doesn't matter. As Yazan is falling, he drop shots Love, who was on that high ground, and now they rotate Triple Esports together towards that point. Kaiser on the backside does take some poke, trying to get towards that point to really stagger. And also, an amplification matrix from Coolboy was committed into a lost team fight, and Isaac gets delayed here as well. Kaiser still alive, will attempt to back out, but is burning. Eventually gets the mini. The hack comes through onto Yazan, but it's actually enough to give Kaiser the kill, so that's a nice shot from him. A May ult as well. The Blizzard from Kaiser in that fight to zone to make sure the Resurrect is not here to give potential recontest.
Chasm's got the Hammer Mines too. And Triple Esports, other than self-destruct, don't really have anything to be able to clear it. They do have Legendary's Bob to be able to keep that point in contest so it doesn't flip though.
Chasm with the mines. There's that Bob, like you said, to make sure that point doesn't flip. A nade comes through onto one, and an aggressive play from Yazan. Sleep Dart tries to come through from Isaac, but now that it's gone, the barrage can come through for free, and a nice direct air shot onto Coolboy after the disruptor as well. Chasm does trade back one, but it's just him. Don't think he can touch now. Overtime ticks down. Triple Esports will take round number 1.
Yeah, it's always a gamble when you go for that early Sleep Dart before the barrage comes through. Because that Nano is there, they kind of have to. Because even if the sleep hits, that travel time that it takes to actually land on the Pharah, the damage a lot of the time has already been done. With that Nano accelerating even more damage from the barrage, you're likely still going to go down even if the sleep finds its target. Which is why Isaac does go for that aggressive play, but it whiffs. And the floodgates open. Yazan gets an absolute shooting gallery, and there's nothing that Oya can do. Big shout out though to both Legendary and One on just playing so far away from the rest of the team, a lot of the time pocketing Yazan. The fact that Legendary, who was one of those dive targets that Love pivoted to when the Pharah pick came out, is able to survive and use that Bob to stop the flip is a huge win condition for Triple.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Isaac, that Ana play has been not there for him, so he's gonna swap over to the Zenyatta with this Baptiste to maybe mix things up.
Glass Cannon Bolt, he's going to be incredibly easy to be able to get 2-tapped by Yazan, but with that Discord pushing 25% extra damage onto this Pharah, Yazan is going to have to play a little bit closer to these rooftops to drop it as fast as possible.
Right now, Triple Esports rotate towards that point. Are the first people to be on it. Kaiser has to go and touch it, but it's Chasm to find one. Prevent the Resurrect. Anj is now coming through with that res, knowing that there's no heals here. Legendary falls to Chasm. Nice quick rotate as well, and seems like Isaac's been playing a lot more aggressive too with these Discord orbs to give him the objective first. Sleep Dart does come through on a Chasm, but will eventually run out. Trying to continue this advantage. Chase down Anj as well to get that stagger kill, and Kaiser again. I mean, his May has been an absolute standout.
Well, Legendary is going to be a standout in comms now for Oya to have to deal with, because he is off of the Ashen onto the Tracer to try and infiltrate into this backline and take the Zen out when he's vulnerable. As May is apparently playing counter to a fire at the moment, but Legendary, he went for the backline. He gets spotted by Chasm, the hack onto the Tracer, so he's not able to recall, followed up by the pile drive, and damage just finishes him off.
This is so smart. Now Love is in a position to potentially find Anj as well. They're just staggering kill after kill, knowing that Legendary is coming back from spawn, but Yazan gets the snipe onto Isaac from across the map. Immortality Field is used as well. Now there's the barrage from Yazan, gets the peel as well there from Mo to give them this point, to give them the objective. They're still up one, but there's that Blizzard onto the point. Kaiser throws it, does go down doing so, but Chasm and Coolboy combine onto both Legendary and Mo, and now Yazan has to take down Coolboy, does get the nano though, hits the direct shots onto him, patiently waited for him to fall down from the sky, though Love does trade back one. Yazan is there with a direct shot onto him. Chasm though does drop the Wrecking Ball mine, so Yazan has to play patiently. The flip not there just yet, does go incredibly low and has the Harmony Orb, but eventually will fall. Triple Esports will finally claim the objective for the first time this round.
But one doesn't have the nano to be able to defensively peel the after effects of the EMP now. Oh yeah, can look for a really fast engagement. You can already see Love in the backline looking for that moment to EMP.
Ready to go for Triple Esports. You know, he's looking for that backline, but Legendary, he scouted him out going towards the front of the ship. He spotted out that Sombra. Now Yazan, knowing there's no Sombra in the backline, go aggressive. Love has no translocator here. Does EMP, who Mo went really aggressive, and that could be their detriment because now they don't have a tank player in this fight. Pulse Bomb comes out from Legendary, connects on to Kaiser. A Transcendence had to be used from Isaac there to avoid the Pulse Bomb damage from Legendary, but with his Baptiste towards the point, they have a lot of the damage output from Isaac too, who connects on the Yazan. It was the Zenyatta swap that's working for him. Headshots the Mercy in the sky as well, but one has traded back Coolboy. Isaac has to go incredibly aggressive. He is deep in enemy territory. He does have the peel here from Chasm, who is trying to avoid the damage of the Diva now, but he eventually does fall. One also connects on to Love, but the point did flip back into yes favor. Even though Triple Esports get the kills, they're going to have to come through and reclaim the objective.
Triple are going to have the barrage as well. And don't have Transcendence. They're not running Chasm on the Diva, so no defense matrix, no Ana to be able to sleep the barrage either. They have to take Yazan out and quickly because Coolboy's only going to have that lamp to save the team from the damage.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard as one builds that nano. So it's just going to have too much damage reduction. Legendary, though, does get hacked in the backline. Chasm tries to capitalize, but this time, Legendary playing far safer, playing his life. Now they want to dive onto one. They've marked him out of the backline. Kaiser goes to that point. Mo does dive onto him alone. Doesn't have a lot of that support, so surely he's going to lose mech here, but Yazan gets the first kill with the nano boost and the barrage. Mo does use the Diva Bomb as well to sustain Legendary with the Pulse Bomb kill onto Chasm, and now it's just the Zenyatta versus a Pharaoh with the Mercy Pocket. Surely Isaac will fall, and eventually he does. Triple Esports still have the objective in their control.
Might be able to get a touch in time. Love on that Sombra, Chasm on that Wrecking Ball are closing on being able to tap. EMP is almost in play for the team. Hack comes down onto Anj. Blizzard onto the point to try and find out. Cheeky flip, but it gets matrixed!
Got eaten by Mo. Fantastic work from him. One came back onto Kariko. Does use the Suzu to save himself there as well. Overtime is now taking down. Immortality Field gone. And eventually Coolboy also removed. Mo, though, does have to come back into the point where the Sombra is with that EMP, but Kaiser gets picked. It's just him and Chasm. Can they get enough damage? They have him and Chasm doing a lot. Yazan bolt down, so is Mo, but Legendary is there. No other follow-up, and Triple Esports claim Antarctic Peninsula.
For so much of Triple Esports run, I feel like we've talked so on length about Yazan and Mo and Anj. I want to give a moment to shout out Legendary. The fact that he's able to swap onto that Tracer, like, Yazan absolutely pops off. Look at the damage, look at the eliminations, look at the deaths as well. 25 eliminations for 5 deaths that you trade. Absolutely, you take that every single day of the week, and there's nothing that anyone on the side of Oya can do. And that's because what they try to use to counter it, Isaac on that Zenyatta with that Discord trying to really sort of put so much space away from Yazan and make sure that he isn't able to find that free run into the backline, is taken off of the table because Legendary on the Tracer and Mo on that Diva are just continuously forcing Isaac to have to be peeled for. Chasm's never able to create that space for Kaiser and Love to set up those kills to come through because he's always having to backtrack roll back to help his Zen out, who's just being jumped on by both a D.Va and a Tracer, and you don't have defense matrix. So even if he arrives in time, a lot of the time, Mo and Legendary would just shoot past him and still find the pick.
You're right. I think Legendary has been doing a great job, and you know, on the side of all, yeah, Moxie, it does feel like Kaiser and Coolboy have been their kind of two counters to Yazan. You know, we speculated maybe Love would play a bit more of like a Cassidy or even an Ashe or a Widow at points, but he's opted to run the Sombra, which is hit scan, but also not really a Pharah counter, right? That's just kind of to support Chasm's dive. So maybe Love coming in for potentially the wrong reasons here. And you know it's bad, obviously, when the best players are shutting down a Pharah is Kaiser and Coolboy. You obviously want to have a little bit more to deal with Yazan. Obviously, they've just thought, okay, let's try to go with Kaiser or Chasm's dive, get these hard dives going, and maybe that'll work out. But unfortunately for them, it didn't. And in this situation, they're going to take us to King's Row, map number 2, Moxie. You think they mix it up? Do you think they continue with Love on the Sombra? That really hasn't been working out for them, has it?
No, and again, it comes down to there are two schools of thought when you're dealing with a pharmacy team. Whether or not you ignore the Pharah and go for the rest of the team, anticipating that by pushing that Ana into a moment where the Mercy has to sort of distinguish herself from that pocket roll, go for that resurrection, be out of position, and potentially be at the most vulnerable, or whether or not you ignore the rest of the team and deal with the Pharah composition because you understand that's where the most damage is coming through. The problem lies in the fact that if you can't set that Sombra, Tracer, and Bull into motion because of the poke coming through from the Pharah, and again, it comes down to the fact that Legendary, when Love was setting up for that EMP, spots the Sombra out and saves his backline. Now we're going to see a swap to come through, but I don't think this was the swap that a lot of people were anticipating. Necros is going to be coming through from Oya, and this is actually the first time we're getting to see him play on broadcast. And he, rather fittingly enough for the drops that are currently enabled, is renowned for his Genji. He has that Overwatch 2 skin going for him. I don't know whether this is the right move. I know he's able to use those dashes a lot of the time and jump on the Pharahs. We've seen him on his own streams be able to counter pharmacies off of just the dash, but also the fact that you can deflect. The problem, again, is it's not traditional. It's, again, going to be pushing more for that dive playstyle, and I'm just worried it's going to leave Yazan way too much room to be able to breathe.
Yeah, obviously, then, you know, like you said, that playstyle of just diving the backline, that's kind of their game plan, you know, throwing all their eggs in that one basket to make sure that they can get those kills in the back line, to make sure that they can enable Chasm. But at points, it does feel like enabling Yazan has been the better play. So maybe, you know, that, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, honestly. I mean, it's too early to criticize considering it's only that map number 2. You know, maybe Love being subbed in instead of Necros also gives them that little bit of change. They have so many DPSs on this team, this lineup. I mean, they could just make any different look. So, you know, you have a whole series to work with. You might as well try things out as you progress, since considering you lost map 1. And if you lose this one, you have another one to work with. You know, we'll have to see if they continue to adjust. Yeah,
the problem for Oya, though, is that because they have very little roles that all of their players are able to play in terms of those specific heroes, their rosters are significantly larger than other teams, and it eats into the flexibility of that tank role. As that, yep, Yazan very much is on top. Lost Shadow, he absolutely dominated that map of Antarctic Peninsula with Triple Esports. Tried and true strategy of build nano boost up, put it onto Yazan, Yazan go burr and kill everyone.
Make sure to use our hashtag OWPTP2023. Now 18 seconds left before the spawn doors open. Oh, yeah, obviously going to have Necros onto the Genji, but the support backline, Moxie, of Ana Zen.
Well, I mean, we've seen this from Oya before. We talked about this on length last time in the broadcast. You were not a fan of that Zen pick coming through. I think it works for when you're in control of that first fight. The second you have to recontest, it becomes just so hard to make work.
Yeah, hopefully none of these Zenyatta players feed. You know, that's what we're hoping for. None of them actually hit the feed key, but Triple Esports obviously going to swap Legendary over to the Cassidy off of the Ashe, knowing, oh yeah, are on to that Genji. Coolboy, though, aggressive Ana takes down one from across the map. That's a nice opening pick to stop the push for now as Anj goes for the Resurrect.
Yeah, but that is Res on cooldown now, so this is going to eat into the aggression that Yazan has, because if he goes down super deep, they're not going to be able to have it to get him back into the mix. Ice Block force from Kaiser very early on, as Coolboy's having to play a little bit further back just to make sure that Isaac doesn't get taken down by a coordinated dive from Triple.
Going for that aggressive dive, also the Sleep Dart utilized. Chasm somehow gets the slam off and also gets back to the high ground. I'm not sure how that mechanic totally works, but now Magnetic Grenade connects onto that Wrecking Ball, and Coolboy and Isaac combined for 2. Both 1 and Yazan fall. Nice job peeking over this top left angle. Isaac with a nice 2K. Minute off the clock now for Triple Esports.
Yeah, like I talked about, right? This Zen works when you're in control of the space. You have that time to be able to set these discords up. Everyone from Oya turns to deal with whoever is discorded. No one can get to the Zen because they're running and trying to break line of sight to drop the orb as quickly as possible. But the second the Triple Esports are able to break a fight, that Zen loses value.
Aggressive play from Yazan to go to the top of the clock tower. Kaiser is poked out, so he's gonna now rotate to the point, use the ice block. Mo wants to go aggressive onto Isaac. No Coolboy there to sustain for him, so that's a free kill from Mo. Also, Yazan's found Kaiser. Chasm slept into the back line to give that Ana of 1 the health pack, as well as he can regroup to his Ana. And oh my god, what shots from Yazan. Gets onto Necros too. No more Genji in this fight. Chasm looks to then zone back around, but he's removed from the lobby. Yazan, nice shots onto Chasm. Nobody else can touch this objective, and Triple Esports claim it. Now I have 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the second phase.
This is very much Triple's comfort picks too. The second that Yazan goes on to that Pharah legendary, that Tracer, you really do feel like they just get that little bit more confidence to be able to push aggressively onto this backline. Well, yeah, are going to have ultimates to be able to use, but the problem is Triple Esports, they have the win condition, gorgeous wall, blocks the pulse bomb connection, but you still have to contest a nanoed Pharah.
Yep, that barrage ready to go. Nano Pharah gonna be scary. The cart moving during this fight as well, so every time is not going towards that objective, Triple Esports to take advantage of it. The incoming slam from Chasm with the Wrecking Ball ultimate. Isaac also pops the Transcendence. Meanwhile, Mo has to use the D-Bomb as he lost mech on the inside of the library angle. The Wrecking Ball ultimate also zones out the backline as a Blizzard also here to sustain. Isaac did find Yazan, but the Resurrect came through, and Yazan's able to find Coolboy. So Triple Esports still taking advantage of this, and also Legendary connects onto Isaac, and then with the full spawn onto Chasm. So they're just progressively moving through the Streets phase with relative ease. Kaiser does find Legendary, but not after Yazan's found the nice 2K at the very end.
Oh, that is not a stagger kill that you wanted for because for the entirety of that fight, Coolboy holds on to the nano boost to enable the Genji ultimate in the fight afterwards, and are going to have to wait until Necros comes back in to actually be able to use it. Chasm's going to be spotted out by Legendary, so he's not going to be able to find that free infiltration. The pile drive so Necros can find that easy kill off of a low health target and immediately get a free dash reset either.
He's just rolling around at the moment. Coolboy does have that nano ready to go, trying to be aware of Legendary, so a lot of things they have to worry about. Ready with that nano blade play. In the main side, Isaac tries to take the duel with Legendary, has the health pack to play around. Is he going to win it? Recall now for Legendary. Also, both supports dived on from Mo and Legendary. Legendary forced the recall. Now their nano play is available. Necros to the Pharah, finds him in the sky, drops down onto Anj, and you saw, we've seen it on his streams. Now we see it on the broadcast. 2K Blade with the nano blade out of them. Surely is going to stop Triple Esports in the snowball they had.
Okay, Isaac now has identified that he's just too much of a target for Legendary. We were seeing, because they had that nano, it doesn't matter that Coolboy has to peel back. Gorgeous blade, by the way. Just goes straight through that Pharah, cuts them up like butter, and then is able to take the Mercy down, so no resurrection on the table. But because Coolboy was just constantly having to pivot attention from the front line to the back line to make sure that Isaac survives when Legendary goes hunting, the BAP is much better in terms of sustain.
Necro's trying to play over the top of the pub, really being a nuisance to Yazan, constantly being an anti-air Genji at the moment. Isaac now gets dove on, has to use the regenerative burst to now avoid a lot of that damage, but Necro's still on this off angle, needs some support. Now they have to back up off that side flank that Triple Esports is taking. They still have that barrage play. Mo gets incredibly low, and in fact loses his mech, so Kaiser with that Blizzard finds Mo as well. They've regrouped the rest of their team. Yazan doesn't want to pop the barrage just yet. Now comes Anj with the Valkyrie. Do they want to commit ultimates here? Maybe they could catch people off. And Yazan actually pops the barrage, but doesn't end up in many kills. They just get Necros. The Resurrect came through onto Mo, but they're already down in terms of members in this fight. Coolboy has the nano ready to go for anybody that's low, and Yazan actually gets taken out of the sky from Isaac. Incoming Diva Bomb. The Immortality field gets deleted, though, by Legendary to enable Mo's Diva Bomb. So nice work from the side of Triple Esports to get that Diva Bomb off, but it might not matter because are regrouping around this payload. Mo is so slow as Kaiser just freezes him, makes sure he can't get out of that fight with any sustain. And now on this side, it seems like Triple Esports are slightly panicking at the moment as Chasm finds On trying to retreat. Necros does fall to Yazan. If Yazan could find more, that would enable them to come through. Legendary gets onto him as well. There's still this backline here. One, though, is targeted by Chasm. Eventually gets found, and Isaac finally finds Yazan as well. So Triple Esports not able to capture this second phase.
They don't have the win condition. They've got the nano boost. They've got the pulse bomb. They're going to be able to get one back in with the res. But again, 30 seconds now on cooldown. They're not going to get res back before we hit OT.
10 seconds in amplification matrix used from Isaac on the top of that train station. Tracer now looking to touch that cart. 4 seconds. Legendary looking for it. Nano also available. Commits it onto Yazan, who then goes aggressive. Sleep Dart does not connect from Coolboy, unfortunately, in this fight. Now he's dove upon Necros, though, with the nano boost. Gets the deflect onto one to get that kill early on. Comes back for the peel, but Legendary has found the pulse bomb. It's 2 for 2, both DPS players, but it's Necros to come out on top with the blade. How many Genjis are going to do what Necros has done today? Yazan, though, has traded it back and also finds Necros, but there's a Blizzard to sustain on the payload for Chasm, but it doesn't get onto anybody. It's just Anj and Yazan versus Chasm. It's that barrage available for him on the point, but do they push him off? He does. Barrage is stationary, but eventually finds Chasm. In overtime, they capture and move on to third phase.
They don't have the means to sustain for the barrage. Chasm tries, but he just gets absolutely deleted with that damage boost. Managed to keep the fire up and play in Triple Esports, despite such a clutch blade coming through from Necros towards the end, are able to go into point C. Yazano onto the Echo Legendary, that Sombra, to try to make sure that Chasm gets locked down.
Man, this looks incredibly rough for support players in the lobby when all the DPSs in the game are playing as well as they have been. And now Legendary, like I said, showing his flexibility onto that Sombra, looks to help Mo take some space and go aggressive as one onto that Kiriko to sustain his team, as well as potentially throw out some one-shots into the backline. Chasm already looking for him, but the cart is pushing forward. Chasm then goes forward to push one off of that off angle as well. Now, looks to create some space after Chasm finds Yazan, but the Resurrect is in a spot that it can be peeled for, so Yazan is now back in the fight for that cooldown. Remove the hack onto Isaac to make sure he can't actually use that Immortality field, and also with the damage amplification to get Isaac as well. Legendary, nice shot from him. Mo also connects on the Coolboy with 20 seconds left. It looks like are falling apart at the seams.
They're going to have ultimates, though, as we head towards OT. The problem is, can they actually get past Triple Esports, who are just not allowing them to move past these spawn gates? If they do, they go straight into the self-destruct.
EMP from Legendary was huge. Mo also, like you said, with that self-destruct ready to go. Kitsune rush as well from one towards that payload. Chasm trying to disrupt it. Isaac has a ton of pressure on that backline, but he does have the amplification matrix to sustain. Coolboy also has built the nano, uses it on Chasm, but it's far too late. It's after he died, so unfortunately gets canceled. That's so unlucky. Chasm falls in that fight to make sure there's no tank here to sustain. And in overtime, Triple Esports are taking full advantage of it. Yazan finds two. Necros trying to build the blade last second, but nobody is here to touch the payload. And Triple Esports will capture out on King's Row in overtime.
The bane of every single anime's life. I'm telling you right now, I've felt it myself too. Nano boost travel time.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate because in an ideal world for Nano boost hits in time for Chasm to be saved. He was 91% to Hammond Mines.
Make it instant. That's what I say. Make it. No, I'm just kidding. That'd probably be too broken, right? If
that
they made it
would be way
instant.
too broken. That would be way too broken. But we had so many stand-up moments. The blades to come through from Necros. There's a reason that they subbed that Genji into King's Row. There's so much focus between being able to take fights both on the low and the high. We even saw D.Va come into the meta for tanks to be able to do that on point A, and he really was pushing that pharmacy to the absolute brink, as was Isaac when he swapped up of the Zen onto the Baptiste, because technically a hit scan, and every single time we swap to his POV, he's dinking the Pharah down.
But it's as you called it, Moxie, right? I think Legendary and Yazan came through in the clutch. You know, as we see in the replay, Legendary got a pulse bomb to find Isaac and Coolboy. Necros had a big blade, but, you know, what do you do when both Yazan and Legendary are playing as well as they have been? You kind of need Kaiser to do a little bit more, but, you know, he's not on the hero where you really can do that. You can't carry as hard as Legendary is on the Tracer when he's on the Mei.
Yeah, Triple Esports as well worked out that Yazan just gets so much more room because, like, there's literally nothing Oya can really do when Barrage is up. You can't wait to see Necros play right now. Well, you've gotten 2 amazing blades. You're gonna get to see even more of them. As Oya on the attack now are gonna be building up to that Nano Blade once again.
Oh yeah, gonna set up on their attack with Isaac on the Baptiste, sticking through with that instead of the Zenyatta. Kaiser trying to take control of this room on the left side to maybe get on that back line. Necros also towards the point. Mo does come through onto the high ground. Immortality Field has to be used, but Chasm finds Legendary, and Coolboy through the window connects onto Yazan. Great shots from him as well. The Resurrect, though, is available. Anj does get that onto Legendary, but Isaac again connects onto Mo, who lost his mech earlier. And now a potential recontest will have to happen. Necros gets hacked, but has the peel there from Chasm, who makes it to the window just in the nick of time. But also an anti-grenade from one eventually resulted in him getting ran over by Chasm because he used that nade to go aggressive. Yazan, though, does trade it back, but it's far too late. Oh, yeah, have regrouped towards that payload and control that first point.
Yeah, one and Anj get stuck on that high ground, so Mo loses that mech, and without that Diva to be able to play on the point itself, or yeah, just continue to pick up that point percentage and see themselves into the payload stages incredibly early. Legendary not going to be able to build up the EMP to be able to stop Oya from playing incredibly aggressive and pushing Triple Esports out of these defensive positions, but the beam hits Necros through. You can't deflect that. And there's no mercy to be able to get him back up into this next fight.
You know what that is, Moxie? That's power creep right there. That's the Echo just being a newer character, and unfortunately Necros is playing Genji.
Winston and Genjis have never been able to get on. You can't deflect lightning.
Well, yeah, you're right, but there's a reason we're not seeing Winston right now, I suppose, right? It's a lot of Wrecking Ball and Diva at the moment. Necros, though, does eventually find Mo. EMP is here, but they sustain through it. Last second, eventually the heals come through from Coolboys. Isaac's also there. And Matrix as well from Isaac to continue his dominance of the Baptiste so far. Eventually they find the copy too, and nice work from the backline of Oya to sustain Triple Esports when they used so many ultimates. See if they try to mix anything up now after they take a wipe.
There you go. There's your power creep. Baptiste not having to build up an ultimate, just being able to throw out something like Immortality Field so that everyone gets to survive. Remember the changes too. You don't get 10% of your health back, you get 25%. So even harder to be able to eject some of these really beefy hero health bars like Kaiser on that main Chasm on that ball as Nanoblade is going to come into play. Triple Esports very much aware of that one being on the table.
Get Nano Boost onto Yazan early though to maybe stop this dive from happening. Coolboys zoned out, did use the Nano actually.
Hack, cancel it.
It canceled, wow, with the hack. Nice work from Legendary to stop that Nano from coming through. Yazan also finds Isaac because of it. Necros doesn't know what to do after he didn't get that Nano in the fight, and now Necros is above the pub side just waiting for his team to regroup, and everything's kind of falling apart now for, oh yeah, they've lost Kaiser. Just gonna try to regroup.
Again, I'm going to shout out Legendary. He is playing the absolute best we have ever seen him with some really well-placed hacks because now they've got a blade, but they have no Nano.
And now he's ready for the hack onto Isaac, who jumps into the sky. Yazan with the sky shot. I mean, that was a beautiful play from them. As you can see, literally everybody in the lobby besides one on the assist there from Triple Esports, who just shut down Isaac in the sky. And now, oh yeah, I need to regroup again. Chasm's trying to take some forward space. And Kaiser's trying to kind of be a pseudo tank on the main side as well.
Yeah, Oya have a really tough decision ahead of them. Do they wait for Nano to come back to actually use this blade? It looks like they're not going to. He gets agitated, but he still finds one, and that might just be enough.
But the sleep was there onto Yazan, who went aggressive too, so they've been able to continue this snowball, but there might be too many ultimates. EMP is here to get Kaiser, as well as the Diva Bomb from Mo. The cart's still pushing. They have 3 meters left. Wrecking Ball mines are here on the payload, but it's not enough to stop Triple Esports from touching the payload. This time, no C9, and oh yeah, gonna have to reset.
Yazan getting to play ever so slightly above those hammer mines, but still just enough to be able to contest that payload. So are not able to find that back cap as this damage that he's continuously outputting. This was the danger. Ran this glass cannon bold in the hopes that they would be able to cycle Nanoblade as quick as Triple Esports cycle Nano Yazan. As now we're going to see Nano normal Necros. Okie dokie, here we go. Yeji versus Anna, but the peel is there. Chasm comes through to finally be able to confirm the kill, but no one was dealing with Yazan.
No, that's a 3K from him, the barrage, and also the direct shots. That just stops. Is pushing. Maybe with that Nano, could get back on sync with that Nano Blade play in that situation. It seems like their only target to Nano is Necros. Meanwhile, for Triple Esports, fantastic barrage from Yazan enables them now 1 minute and 30 seconds for
Chasm has to get into a position to use these hammer mines on the card to finally allow Oya to hit that checkpoint before Legendary hits EMP to cancel them.
There's the Nano onto Yazan. Also Immortality Field used early, but it's Yazan to find the 2K. Isaac and Coolboy both fall. And now Kaiser surely will get staggered here as well. Yazan 3K on the Necros. Now 1 minute left. Necros has built his blade up again, but without that Nano,
no space either to actually be able to get on top of this pharmacy. He's going to have to use that initial dash because he's coming out of choke anew. Whereas Yazan's already going to be up in the sky. And Legendary, he's got the EMP. Chasm gets slapped, so he's not in position to use the hammer mines. And the EMP's going to hit the back one. No one's in position to build.
They're ready. Mo came over the pub side. Legendary already finds Coolboy, but Chasm does trade it back. See if Isaac can sustain. Looks like, unfortunately for him, no, but Necros has found Anj, so both backline for backline. And you have a Wrecking Ball ult as well on the payload. Necros has the blade. Yazan does have the barrage. Chasm goes incredibly low, but gets the health back now into the sky. Barrage comes through, and it's countered by Necros. As he had to hold still in the sky, Necros comes through, but Legendary has found Chasm. Kaiser then combines onto Legendary, though, so it's working out for them so far, but Necros is so low, needs some heals. Eventually is going to get them from Isaac, but Mo is also here on the front line who has found Kaiser, so that's a nice kill from him, forcing the blade now from Necros. The Suzu and the Swift Step to sustain against the blade, but now comes that D-Bomb. The hack comes through as well. Necros barely sustains around the corner, but eventually Yazan on the Symmetra of all things comes back from the spawn doors to beam him down. It's just Chasm now on the cart versus the Symmetra of Yazan. Chasm has found one. That is a decent kill to get, but Chasm goes incredibly low. Does he sustain? Jumps up to the high ground, gets the Nano Boost, and then slams down on the Legendary and Anj. What a play from the Nano Boost Wrecking Ball to give them this checkpoint in overtime. Yazan cannot sustain versus it, and they move on to this third phase.
And they keep the mines, they keep the Blizzard. He's in position to just be able to slam onto all of these players. One on the Kiriko just doesn't have the speed heal to be able to sustain this Diva Mech when all of the focus from Oya comes down onto Mo.
1 minute and 12 seconds left now. Kaiser does have the Blizzard ready to go. Chasm's gonna have the Wrecking Ball mines, but Legendary is ready to go with this EMP. It's been telegraphed in the past. We'll see if are aware of the dive that's about to come through. Legendary comes through with the hack first, waiting with the EMP. Actually translocates out. Yazan gets poked down to 12 HP as Anj tries to go for the Glock. Chasm finds him on the low ground in the inside towards the health pack. Isaac's also found Yazan after that, and things are looking dicey for Triple Esports now.
They lose Isaac. 82% to Ant Matrix. They lose the Baptiste. They're going to be split. When Triple Esports comes in with the EMP, they have to spy check the Sombra.
They have to. Where is he at the moment? Legendary in that backside. Now the Blizzard comes through. Doesn't get eaten, but the EMP is there from Legendary, but they sustain through, except for Necros. One is found him with that Kitsune rush, able to find him with the kunai. That's already one down. Isaac, though, eventually finds him. Is back with the window as well. As long as Chasm stays healthy, they have 15 seconds left. They use Immortality Field. On to one now is the Ant Matrix towards that skybox, but the Pharah is well aware of it. Oh, Mo does have the barrage. Legendary now coming back onto the Bastion. Kaiser gets poked down towards the car. Has to use that May Ice Block form as well. Gets poked incredibly low, but hasn't sustained. The Nano is coming up, but Yazan with the barrage finds Kaiser and Coolboy, and then onto Necros. It was a miracle run so far. Isaac does connect onto Yazan, but the Resurrect is now here. Just Chasm on the payload, unless there's some miraculous boop off to do one of the craziest C9s ever. It's not going to work out for them today, and Triple Esports hold against to go up 2 in the series.
Well, that was just a roller coaster. I think that is the craziest King's Row that we have ever seen. Clutches to unlock point B for both of the teams. Absolute clutch swap to the Bastion for Legendary because everyone just has to turn and deal with him, which allows Yazan that freedom that he's looking for. The second that you take your eye off of this Pharah, you're going to find yourself blinking and back in that respawn point. He had such a dominant performance. And it seemed like, oh yeah, just how long it took those win conditions to come back up. The fact that they were relying so heavily on that nano blade allowed Triple Esports, who didn't have to sync up their ultimates, could just nano Yazan and use him in the neutral as opposed to needing the barrage to be synced up and cycled alongside it. It just gets so much more value in uptime.
Yeah, this is Overwatch at its most fun, Moxie. I mean, we have all the DPS players in the lobby playing to a high level. Same with the tank players. And
21,000 damage!
21,000 damage, ridiculous performance from Yazan. I mean, is that the most we've seen him? You said 19,000 yesterday on King's Road.
19,000 the last time, yeah. He was like 18,900 up against Triple.
And, he's not the only DPS player playing well right now, right? That's the biggest thing. Necros and Kaiser both, having standout performance. Legendary as well. Truly enabling Yazan. And, obviously Yazan get those final blows and also played incredibly well. It's so interesting to see that the Genji actually worked better for them than the Sombra did map 1.
So here's the thing. When the Sombra was in play, Yazan was on the Echo. So the Echo has a lot less aerial uptime in comparison to the Pharah because you have that continuous jet boost when you're using the shift. For the Echo, you use that shift. It's a little bit of a burst moment, and then you immediately start losing altitude, pushing you closer and closer to the Sombra and closer within hacking distance. That's why they sort of used it to test the water, and then when they saw that Love was on the Sombra rather than something like a Cassidy, we instantly saw the pivot onto the Pharah, and suddenly Love wasn't able to find the hacks onto the Pharah, but because Necros on the Genji has those dashes, the ability to be able to wall climb up as well, he's actually able to get close enough to the Pharah to keep it contested a lot longer than the Sombra was too.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can come back. They maybe figured something out on the next maps. We're going to do a short break. When we come back, we'll see you for that map number 3.
Are your Dragon Blades missing the mark?
Do you want to go from a bad Genji to a pro Genji?
Looking for that next big thing to rank up and improve your gameplay?
Well, look no further than our brand new Overwatch Contenders Genji skin! With our exclusive custom-made hoodie, your Genji gameplay will automatically be taken up a notch.
And you'll look more stylish as you team wipe fight after fight.
Just look at that stitching!
To acquire your sick Genji threads,
So you can destroy in ranked and dominate all your enemies.
dude, chill.
Sorry, man, I'm just getting into it.
All you have to do is connect your Battle.net account to Twitch.
After that, watching Overwatch Contenders will contribute to your drops progress.
Letting you claim each magnificent offering, including the keen blade of Overwatch Contenders Genji.
Overwatch 2 Operation Dive Party signups are now open, guys, and this actually applies to most of you in chat. So if you want to maybe contend for $5,000 prize pool per region in July 5th through August 12th, you can sign up now at the overwatchleague.com/PatThePro. And if you're wondering, that means no Contenders players, no Pro Overwatch League players can compete in this tournament. So literally anybody besides that group of people can compete. So please sign up if you would like to play. And Moxie, speaking about Contenders talent, this matchup between Aya and Triple Esports is now going to the event number 3. Obviously, we talked up Aya a little bit, but Triple Esports thus far really kind of putting on a performance on those first 2 maps.
Yeah, again, like we talked about, in the past they have struggled because teams, they understand what compositions they're going to be playing because, if you don't know, if you haven't been following them in the tier 2 scene before this, they field a lot of people who can only really play 1, maximum 2 specific heroes. As you can see, the fact that Chasm is going to be playing the ball, Necros comes in, plays the Genji. We've seen Kaya sometimes come in and play the Torbjorn, but normally 97% of the time he's playing that Junkrat. Love has a little bit more flexibility. I'm really hoping, given the fact that he is going to be subbing in, we're going to see that hit scan come through from him. Ironically enough, it is teased as his hero slot in the roster, but he is yet to play it because I thought that they just maybe put a little bit too much faith in the Sombra. I understand why. Sombra is incredibly strong at the moment against meta teams, but against Pharah compositions, you need the hit scan to keep this pharmacy in check.
Yeah, nothing right now at the moment shutting down Yazan all that well, but we'll see if Love can do so. Being sub back in the next map will be Shambali Monastery, which maybe is a bit more open, but I've still seen some fantastic fair play on this map, so I would not be surprised to still see Yazan do what he does best, although I wouldn't count out. They looked pretty good that last map and definitely could come back with this reverse sweep. We'll have to see if it happens, Moxie, on Shambali Monastery, where maybe because that Pharah doesn't work as well on this map, it could enable Ayan to perform. And, I think we've talked about this a little bit off the broadcast, and, we're questioning why Kaya hasn't been in the lineup really all that much. It makes sense, right? Because Yazan's on Pharah, but it does kind of remove a lot of that damage output that Aya has previously had whenever they put Kaya in the lineup.
Yeah, but talking about that Pharah, this is likely going to be why they decide to take us to Shambali, because there's an ebb and flow in terms of where Pharah is strong here and where she's weak. There are a lot of buildings.
What the hell? What the?
Chasm's been popping up in the most unexpected places with Hammond's. Oh, of course, we don't see him copy-pasted onto a traditional Hammond. No, he's on a panda. I guess we're channeling Chengdu Hunters.
At least, show Harambe or something, I think that would be funny. Anyway, yes, the panda is not exactly a little bit of a hamster, is it? Are they the same breed anyway? Listen, this is probably not a good topic to get into. I'm not really. I'm not an animal.
Are you asking if pandas are related to gorillas?
Well, yeah, where?
Okay, so gorillas are a monkey, right?
Okay, but what are they rats or or hamsters rats? What are they? I actually don't know. Why are you laughing at me? Are they guinea pigs? What are they though?
They're rodents.
They're rodents. Oh, okay. But how closely are rodents related to? They're mammals though, right? So that kind of works out. Unfortunately for when they watch this VOD back, they'll be very confused what the caster was talking about. Triple Esports, though, on their attacking side, they do have Sombra and the Echo on their attacking side. Meanwhile, also running a Sombra with Kaiser on the Mei. Triple Esports trying to claim a little bit of payload space. The Love also, his translocator was removed, so he's able to come back and delete him before he could translocate away. And they take that advantage to now push forward where, a bit lost for what to do at the moment. They do get Anj, though, and that's a nice kill. And also get onto one. Isaac, fantastic work for him. Tried to get towards the immortality field. Unfortunately falls, but the damage is already done. Have stopped the push so far.
Yeah, Isaac does go down because he's actually above that immortality field, so he doesn't actually count as being inside it. So he doesn't get that 25% health guaranteed. But like you said, the damage has already been done. Triple Esports lost both of their players in the backline due to Isaac on the Baptiste. The problem, however, is that Triple are on the attack and can very quickly regroup, as opposed to, we're going to rely on Love stalling attention on the Sombra.
Goes for the hack onto Anj as well, and the low ground was already poked low, and nice job from Chasm to follow up, and now one gets the sleep dart off, but Love is there with the follow-up. Nice work from Oh Yeah so far. Love, after being subbed back into the Sombra, really has found, you know, his groove leading forward, stopping Triple Esports in general, making sure Yazan isn't enabled to pop on.
Chasm trying to deal with Legendary, who is incredibly close to that EMP. This is dangerous for Isaac. If he uses Amp before the Sombra ult comes through, it's going to be cancelled entirely.
And this is tough for Yazan too. I'm noticing there's not, like, obviously there's not a lot of verticality in cover, right? There's not a lot of cover in the sky for him to play around unless he goes into hyper aggressive, which he does now, onto the inside against the Blizzard though, and Love on the foreground. They're able to get these kills. Oh yeah, run onto one to make sure he's not able to find any value. Also, now comes that Diva for the peel, but it's far too late. They've lost Yazan and one. Only 1 minute and 47 seconds left on the clock. Oh yeah, are playing phenomenal at the moment.
Yeah, this is the ebb and flow of the Pharah, right? Coming out of these spawn, like you said, not a lot of places for the Pharah to be able to push that distance away from the Sombra and escape these hacks coming through, which are an absolute death sentence when you don't have that aerial mobility, as well as the fact that Anj was not connected because he'd been taken down earlier. He's actually having to peel now because the hack came from 1-to-1, which leaves Yazan vulnerable. But the Pharah doesn't get pressured.
Now the hack comes through onto Isaac, who has to use the regenerative burst, but eventually will fall to Yazan, hitting those mid-air shots. Don't see a lot of Pharaohs do that besides him and maybe Labda. Ice block forced on that May as well. Kaiser now has to run away back towards his team, but Chasm's kind of there with the peel as well as Coolboy, but now Coolboy has been the target of Yazan and eventually finds that kill. EMP comes through from Love, but there's no follow-up, so maybe a bit of a waste EMP from him. Has to die. Actually goes down, in fact, to Legendary if the hack comes through. Triple Esports only had a nano that fight.
They're trying to bait the EMP out. Isaac is still holding on to the same amplification matrix because he can't use it before Legendary's EMP. So they are doing everything that they can to try to push Legendary into using this early.
That might actually be a good idea. Just throw it out early just to force the EMP, but now he just gets EMP before he even does it. Chasm also gets slept by one with a fantastic sleep dart from him. Legendary also connects onto Kaiser too. Love has to translocate out. The nano boost came through onto Isaac to sustain, but now there's a Diva Bomb and no immortality field to save anybody. Mo's Diva Bomb connects on the Coolboy. Yazan also finds Isaac. One also eventually gets rid of Chasm, and after a lot of time was burned off the clock, Triple Esports will capture on the first point.
They put so much effort into trying to keep Isaac alive, to keep that amp in play, nano boost, immortality field, to try to make sure that BAP survives. But it just isn't enough. The damage has been done. Like you said, self-destruct gets thrown out after immortality field has already been baited, and the backline go down in one fell swoop. As Blizzard and EMP are going to be on the board, Triple Esports now moving into tunnels, going to have a lot less room to actually make this far actually work with the ceiling.
The Legendary drops down on the Chasm. Love is the one to find Anj, though. Had a hack, I believe, on his own side. Also, Ant Matrix used from Isaac. Everybody playing split now from Triple Esports just to try to sustain. Eventually, Isaac will be dove on by Mo, but Mo loses his mech as he tries to fall back as well. No Diva Bomb now for him, so he's going to be staggered in Baby Diva form.
So this is now going to be about the pressure that Mo and Legendary can exert onto these players from Oya's side, because Yazan's not actually going to be able to move into either these small rooms or tunnels, because he's just going to get walled off, and there's nothing Triple Esports can do if the Pharah gets blocked away and doesn't have that ability to be able to negate all of the damage and hacks to come through, because every single time you try and use the shift, you bump your head against the cave ceiling.
Yeah, this is a really good map for Kaiser to play as well as he has been. Now they come through with the nano. One's trying to go to the coastal side. Maybe a bit of a different angle for Triple Esports, trying to mix up this fight as the cart really hasn't even made it around the first corner. They dive onto Coolboy, aggressive and a play, but the heals are there from Isaac with the regenerative burst to keep Coolboy alive as well. They know the target is that backline. Kaiser drops the mail to sustain through that middle as well. Eventually, Yazan's able to find Isaac, but after hack comes through onto Yazan, he's now pressured away from this fight. Only one kill with that nano. That's a solid job from Oh Yeah, until now Oh Yeah comes through into Kaiser, and the resurrect also from Anj.
Damage is done, however. Triple Esports are able to break through, moving the fight away from caves and taking it into where the skybox is a lot larger, and Yazan gets free real estate to push and dive drop onto Isaac on that Baptiste. Look at him again, pushing onto these really off-anchor rotations. Isn't actually able to find the pick necessary, however, and Triple Esports immediately having to back up and wait for regroup.
Nice 2 kills from Oh Yeah. 24 seconds now left on the clock. Triple Esports get the respawns. They'll come together now at the moment. Love, though, with the EMP. Let's see if he can find value. Legendary's EMP has have been very, very strong so far. We'll see where he sets up. Maybe they're doing a little bit of scouting for him. Maybe a bit of a counter EMP potentially even from Love in that fight. Isaac also down on the low ground trying to maybe mix things up. It looks like Triple Esports don't really know where this backline is. EMP now comes through, but a sleep dart onto Yazan is there, but Love tries the EMP, and he gets canceled by Legendary, who tracks him down in overtime. And now they can just regroup towards this payload. Yazan has found Kaiser in overtime. They go back onto Isaac, who was trying to stall, but they just shut him down. Chasm also is the target of Triple Esports now. See if a recontest comes through, but overtime spawns, I'm not sure if they do.
They don't have Amp Matrix. Isaac got taken down late stages of that fight. They're not going to have EMP. Love might be able to tap. He's going to come out of stealth so that Chasm gets the nanoboost and can touch, but he immediately has to just try and stall so that Isaac has the ultimate to try and turn this tide.
I mean, he's not dying at all. He's not losing HP because the Ant Matrix is here, so they're sustaining through this fight. Also drop the Immortality Field to try to save him, but Yazan's barrage connects, and also that payload will be received by that checkpoint. So we're going in the third, even though Chasm has found one. They push it through in overtime. Triple Esports now have 1 minute and 20 seconds in third.
They've got a Blizzard. The problem is that they're having to play far back because they've lost players, so they don't have the confidence to take this fight inside, which means when the fight breaks out for Triple, they're going to have the Nano, and they're also going to have the Skybox to set Yazan up to really be able to use this movement.
Now we're ending in third phase towards the end of it now. The Nano comes through from Yazan, dives onto Isaac. Also, Immortality Field was used, but unfortunately it gets deleted immediately by Yazan, who then takes down Coolboy. No Sleep Dart cooldown there either. So now Triple Esports come through onto that dive. That was all, yeah, and fine. The stagger kills. Chasm has found Anj, though, but it's a little too late. Triple Esports will find... Actually, Chasm just going to roll all the way around to try to live. Legendary has an EMP this fight as well. Does Chasm get staggered? He does. Oh.
I don't know if I'm okay with that stagger, given that he was
What's Isaac doing here,
so
too?
close to self-destruct. Isaac does actually manage to take down Yazan. Are we going to actually see Triple Esports backing off so that the res can come through?
Maybe, yeah, the hack's there. Okay, Isaac actually died for the cause there. Nice work from him. Now 12 seconds left. Mo just tries to back around. Chasm finds Legendary, and it works out. Is all, yeah, make it scrappy. It's enabling him at the moment. Yazan, though, comes back with the barrage in this fight to find Love, who was going aggressive onto that Sombra, not able to escape that damage output. The heals now come through from Isaac. Also, Nano Boost available. They're in a very open space. I'm not sure how Yazan finds value against the Mei with that Nano. Also, here comes the Blizzard onto Mo. EMP, though, on the cart to try to do some damage, but also a counter EMP is here from Love. The Diva Bomb is zoned out. Immortality Field to negate that damage. One has found Chasm, but it might be too little too late. Yazan is in the open with the Nano Boost. Isaac tracks him down, and they get stopped in third phase.
Yeah, it's actually really good from Oya. This is what this team really finds their strengths in, right? Making fights scrappy, so you have to expend ultimates outside of the tempo that you're comfortable with. And a lot of it comes down to just being able to use Chasm staggering out those players, forcing Twisted Minds into turning a Triple rather into dealing with trying to chase that ball down. Isaac makes it valuable. He's able to take that far down. Then the hack comes out so you don't actually get that res. So Yazan is still out of the mix. And from there, or you actually bait the EMP out early so that Chasm and Love get to use their ultimates once it's come through, and it doesn't cancel them out the way that we'd seen in the past on this map.
Yeah, this is exactly the way that Alya should be playing and have wanted to play on previous maps. And, you know, just to kind of bring it back to, I believe, honestly, this would be a map pick, right, Moxie? I mean, the Shambali Monastery in particular has been a tough map for Yazan because there's, like, no cover for the Pharah.
Yeah, again, like ebbs and flows. When you're able to take places where you have things like the caverns, you've got that inside small room as you push from B into C, Yazan gets a lot less movement. The problem is when he gets the Nano Boost, he has the confidence to just expend one concussive and immediately break free into the skybox.
Yeah, I think this has been a hard map for them, but maybe on defense, it could enable Love on the Widowmaker, looking for the Pharah. Playing it slow. They're given that space, by the way, Moxie. A lot of teams like to go for the spawn camp, but not with the Pharah composition. Flops back over to the Sombra. Now Kaiser takes down Yazan. Again, we saw this early on in the series coming back. Nice shot on the Yazan of the Sky. Anj also taking a lot of damage from Isaac, who is now coming online. And they come together onto that Mercy now. So even though Yazan's back up in this fight. They found him. Isaac does find one as well, and this aggressive Baptiste play is kind of enabling to play as aggressive as they are as a unit and continue to find these stagger kills.
They've got Mo as well, trapped in this side room. He's now having to use those boosters to get back to the rest of his team, which means less peel for everybody else and even more room. Picked up from the side of It all spirals off of Kaiser getting that first pick onto Yazan because Triple were wanting to use that forest to just poke down, and now they're out of sync with their positioning. The boot from Chasm knocks one off of the high ground, so the Anna's not in that position of safety. The Triple were looking to set her up in early.
We baited out a sleep dart, now comes through to that main side, was trying to do it earlier. Isaac also gets hacked and then deleted by Yazan, who comes through with that follow-up damage with that Mercy Pocket. Cool Boy also on the coast gets removed, and Triple Esports did a good job peeling off Chasm in the first place and then coming through. Although one did fall, they now will come through, try to find him and stagger kill him as he backs away.
Well, he is able to roll out since Hack does not entirely disable your abilities for its full duration now, but Legendary just takes the health pack away from Chasm. Does go incredible blow, has to translocate out early, so as a result, not going to be in position to use EMP.
Isaac, though, is very aggressive on that main side. Looks for Yazan, really able to play as aggressive as he has been because he used that regenerative burst. Now it's on cooldown, 13 seconds. Legendary is ready to go with the EMP, but he has to translocate out. Now Love's EMP should connect. They also ping out that Sombra because she was low into the caves. They know where she is coming through with the EMP. Wrecking Ball ultimates towards the cart. Now Neta Boost onto Yazan with that barrage ready to go. Immortality Field used. May ult on the payload as well as counter EMP. Now a barrage from Yazan comes through to find Isaac, but Love has found Legendary. Chasm also finds one, but the Resurrect now into Legendary towards the payload. Chasm is low. Needs some of those heals from Cool Boy. They don't have a lot of damage as they're on the inside angles. They're against Yazan, who was on the payload. EMP now. There's that damage they're looking for. Will find Legendary and also eventually finds Mo. Yazan can't do anything about his team falling apart, and then he gets tracked as well by Love, affording that first point checkpoint.
Yeah, Anj isn't actually able to dodge out of the EMP. He knows it's coming, that's why he's playing up on that high ground perch, but it still connects onto the Mercy, and as a result, he's not able to fly back to Yazan, who's the only one that doesn't get hit by the EMP in that fight, as we can see. And until then, the damage has been done, and we're going to see Triple Esports still find an early pick out onto Kaiser. Diva boosters do a lot more damage than you would expect, and now Yazan has this window to be able to poke damage onto the payload.
Nice shot from Yazan to full up into Isaac, and yeah, Mo has really been an unsung hero so far for Triple Esports, really doing a lot of that dirty work, able to find, pick after pick, or at least enabling Yazan to find that space.
Not just that, but also spy checking Love's position.
Yeah.
Right, don't really have the means of being able to spy check the Sombra out early because the Hammond has to reload. The Diva, infinite ammo. You can literally just pick an angle and shoot.
Yeah, he's able to spot out Love a lot of these times, but Love now to the back line. And Maywall actually connects onto Yazan to stick him in that window. Again, we saw it previously in the last series as well. Interesting how these Mays keep doing it. Meanwhile, an aggressive Baptiste window from Isaac, although Mo is the one to find the kill on the Love, so great work from him to find Love too. That's a nice kill. Now Legendary also with his EMP. See if he opts to hold it. Does get detected out by his counterpart of Love as the sleep dart is there as well. Attempt to regroup around this payload.
Yeah, they don't want to make a move just yet, however, as they do know that both EMP, Self-Destruct, Nano, and Barrage, in fact, all ultimates are going to be in play for Triple Esports, so they're going to have to be very careful about how they take this fight as the Hammer Mites come through. They do come out before the Sleep Dart hits, so it's not going to be cancelled out early, which does mean that your hand is still split.
Kaiser, though, finds Legendary. Nice work from him, but Yazan gets that nano. Hits Isaac in the sky. Nice direct hit from him, but a sleep dart! And then the hack comes through. What a sleep from Cool Boy. And then also with the follow-up damage, they're able to take out Yazan. Anj not able to get to his team because of the Wrecking Ball mines. He was zoned back. Diva Bomb for Mo to try to keep this fight going. They got Chasm low. They're able to find him, but Mo gets frozen by the Blizzard. Do they have the follow-up damage? They don't. They have the EMP onto Legendary and Mo, but the heals are too much to deal with, and Mo is able to find Love after the EMP was used. Kaiser also will get staggered as well, and gets stopped at the very last second.
Oh, Triple Esports going to be taking a significant chunk of the time for being able to hold on to that one, as well as we're going to see the swap that we wanted to see, fast, and Love is on to the Cassidy. Hitscan now in full motion, as they are very much aware that not only can you try and put a stop to the Sombra with that Magnade, but if you can catch Yazan as that barrage comes through, since there's no nano to give that damage reduction, or you have such a good ability to be able to survive and just beef and chunk damage through.
Yeah, they'll probably nano loving this fight, I think, with Pool Boy as they walk in to try to counter the barrage play from Yazan, but we'll see how they attempt to play it. Kaiser's the one to touch the payload as Chasm tries to look the background. There's that nano Cassidy to go into open space to look for that Mercy and that Fair, but does he hit the shots? Yes, he does, but not after they've lost Chasm. Can he do anything more? They've lost on, so no resurrect available. Also, the heals aren't there for the side of Triple Esports. Love also finds Legendary after he EMP'd, so at a disadvantage, he hits those shots. Also now is on the Yan, who comes through with the barrage to find two. Isaac, though, does trade it back. The nano boost also from Mo is here to eventually find Isaac as the amp is used from him, but there's nobody to actually take advantage of it. Chasm's here to touch that payload, building the Wrecking Ball mines, but do they commit to this fight where they're down in numbers? It looks like they have Wrecking Ball ults. The Blizzard also used from Kaiser does get on the Mo, but they don't have the damage. Surely, right? Chasm falls.
They have to.
As he gets him, the Diva Bomb is here. They commit to the fight, but nobody else surely is going to be able to touch besides Isaac or Love. He gets slept, in fact, so Love cannot touch the payload. And Triple Esports will actually stop all yet to get a 3-0 victory and move forward in the lower brackets.
They had to commit. The time bank is not going to allow them to be able to look for a disengage and a full regroup, which is why we see ultimate after ultimate thrown out in an absolute panic as they try anything, everything that they have at their disposal to be able to push that play just a little bit further and allow themselves a little bit more time. But we always knew it would be an uphill battle when you're not being able to field that traditional hit scan from the very get-go. Yazan won on, they're going to do everything at their power to make sure that this Pharah gets so much value without that traditional counter. And in my opinion, the swap into that Cassidy just comes through way too late.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Moxie. I think that, you know, this team, this lineup relied on or needed a lot of that damage. There were so many fights when they had both TPSs up, but just could not get kills because Anj and One were just, you know, anchoring the objective, anchoring at the back of the point to make sure they couldn't push in. And now Triple Esports will move forward, Moxie, and you might potentially see that matchup versus them in Twisted Minds, obviously, coming up. But yeah, that's the second seed gone already in that lower brackets. I mean, they played well so far, but Triple Esports, you know, really were the better team at the end of the day. And now we'll be going against Exoblivione
tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting one because we saw that they were fielding towards Turkey a little bit more when we were in regular season, so that they could actually have a lot more of a round composition since he can play both the Pharah, but he also plays Hitscan too. But it feels like Triple, they just identified the fact that Oya do not like to play that traditional role of Hitscan. The fact that Chasm on the Wrecking Ball too means no Diva, no defense matrix, no boosters to be able to get up into that pharmacy's face. So much more room and advantage for Yazan to really be able to not pull his punches at all. This was the most confident we've seen Yazan. He was going for some incredibly aggressive plays, understanding there was nothing that Oya could really do a lot of the time to be able to put a stop to any of that aggression, and it means that Triple walk away with 3-0.
Fantastic work for Triple Esports. We'll have to see after an interview what they think. We're going to do a short break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with one of the members from Triple Esports. So, like I said, don't go anywhere. We'll come right back and we'll have an interview with one of the players or coaching staff from Triple Esports.
Tracer has quickly become one of the most popular heroes in high-level Overwatch 2. It takes insane mechanical skill, cerebral game sense, and ice in your veins to make impact plays with her, but these players make it look easy.
Maimon and Vestola just playing off of each other perfectly.
W Maimon, by the way, found one who built that Transcendent. And a pulse bomb connects onto both Fuki and Turkey. W Maimon on this map on Havana truly has been next level.
And just as their eyes glance away, a pulse bomb connects to the back of their head. Canale and Cookie hit the dirt. Rocket trying. Rocket could be a hero in moments like these. Rocket saved the day again! Rocket's gonna chase him out too. Oh, and he Tracer gaps him. Yeah, Rocket's that guy right now.
Welcome back, everybody. After Triple Esports takes that 3 over. Yeah, we have an interview with you guys. We've got or for you guys. We have Anj with us today. What's up, Anj? Congrats on the 3-0, man. How you feeling after that one?
I'm feeling really good. I'm really glad that we made third place secured at least. So
yeah.
We'll see what the games are gonna look like tomorrow.
So, first of all, standout moment for me was when you were there with Yazan on King's Row, Attack B, and it's just you and that Farah, and you have a barrage. Talk us through how the comms were going when you were actually able to secure that checkpoint.
The comms were actually really calm in that situation. I remember it was just Yazan saying like, I need healing, I need healing, I need healing. Well, we are the only two people, so there's no one else I can heal, you know? So I'm just sitting there like, don't worry, man, I got you. And yeah, we managed to turn that fight. That was really, that was a fun fight to play.
Yeah, I think so far, I mean, at least in that series, I think you and the backline were definitely standout. You and one. Kind of, you know, in particular, if we go over to into Shambali, you know, they just couldn't kill you and one in that backline and really make sure to secure that second phase, right? When you guys were on your defensive side, is that just because of the angle, or were you guys just, you know, playing out of your minds as support to keep your team alive?
I think one has a lot of experience playing Ana against any of these kind of compositions that are like designed to basically kill him all the time. So you could tell, like, by one's positioning, he's always like able to live throughout most engages where other Anas would not be able to.
Yeah.
So I think that that does help a lot.
Well, talking.
Wait, Bucks. Wait. So I tip you because you didn't call it your own play. You're talking about your teammate there. What did you do? I mean, Anja, obviously you're one of the best Mercy players. You know, what did you do to make it work? Like, I think you're insane on Mercy. You're typical main support to obviously talk about your teammates and stuff. But you know, obviously, I think you played well. What in particular went well for you there on Shambali?
Well, I think we recognize very, very well when we should trade the backlines. With that, I mean, is like if they go on one and they use all their resources, we just either let him die, or we peel him, and we are really good at recognizing that as a team together. So sometimes one dies, and we end up getting trades on their backline, and I can end up rezzing him anyways, you know. So, but sometimes it's possible to keep him alive, and I'm able to peel him if they don't have ultimates or anything to completely kill him.
So talking about Shambali, I know we were incredibly surprised to see a significant absence of Cassidy, especially given the fact that Love has been known in the Tier 2 scene for being able to play hit scan, but it seems like he was fielding towards the Sombra. Were you expecting to see that sort of movement towards the Sombra and away from the Cass?
I did expect that, yeah, because we have played them before, and they were playing a similar composition last time on Shambali as well. So we were kind of expecting the Sombra to be played there anyways, but yeah, I think Love actually did end up playing McCree. I think they nanoed him and I ended up dying to that, so... But yeah, I think, we did expect them to go Sombra.
Interesting. And, you know, obviously for you got your pocket Yazan as per usual back with you. I mean, he played so well. Apparently he deadlifted twice, something. We got the stats. Like, he had 21,000 damage on King's Row. Could you tell Yazan was just having a good day, or because it feels like, oh, what?
That's all me. That's all me. Trust.
It's all you.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's always the Mercy player that's pocketing him, right? It's
exactly.
Yeah.
So how did the cons work then?
Yeah.
That because we've obviously seen that Yazan sort of goes between both the Echo and the Farah, but does it sort of change anything about how you played the Mercy when he's on an Echo as compared to when you play with a Farah?
The composition that we're playing is basically designed to like hard pocket Yazan, no matter what, like if he plays Farah or Echo. But if we would have Legendary on Ashe, for example, then it would be a bit different, because then I would just have to pocket the person that I can get the most value out of, you know? Like if I see Legendary on Ashe on an off angle, I would pocket the Ashe. But if I see Yazan taking a heavy angle that he can get value off, then I would pocket Yazan. But Legendary was mostly playing Sombra or another hero that doesn't really work well with the Mercy pocket, so 9 out of 10 times I would just be pocketing Yazan, depending if one would get dove and I need to peel, or if we trade backlines.
And like you said, I think that one in your team in particular is super good at dealing with like the wrecking ball play style of just trying to live versus a lot of these hard dives. Tomorrow, obviously, you got a really quite different opponent in Exoblivione, right? I mean, like, what do you guys think going into that one? Obviously, they play a lot more of that Sojourn or Matcha Rush, which seems to be like the quote-unquote meta for both teams like Twisted Minds and Exoblivione. Do you guys are you guys ready for that? Are you prepared, or like do you have any maybe things that you want to lean into and strategy-wise, or are you trying to keep that all a secret?
Well, the strategies, we haven't really thought much about the game against Ex-Oblivion strategy-wise, but I do expect a very, very close game to be happening, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and also to play tomorrow. So definitely you should tune in for that tomorrow.
Does that mean then that all of the time strategizing has been gone into being able to counter Twisted Minds, the team that you have actually lost against in the upper bracket?
Well, we I'm not going to lie, we haven't really scrimmed that much, so we're basically, we're mostly like relying on our mechanical play, and with this team we haven't scrimmed or practiced that much, but what I do notice is that if we do end up scrimming, because we do scrim before the officials, obviously, I do notice that we pick things up really fast. So, I mean, is it even a bad thing then to not scrim that much?
Yeah, I guess for you guys, I mean, you might as well just keep strong mentally and just regroup and refresh. That's kind of smart. I like it. I appreciate it, Anj, for coming in. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and congrats to you and your team. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, and thank you for the interview.
Yeah, pleasure having Anj as always. He's always an awesome person to chat to. Meanwhile, guys, let's take a look back at the day. You know, we had some close Overwatch originally, and also at points in that last map, it was close, or last series, it was close. But obviously, Twisted Minds get that 3-1 win over Ex-Oblivion to get to that grand finals. Meanwhile, in the lower bracket semis, we have All Yeah versus Triple Esports. Triple Esports won that 3-0. I mean, what a day that we had on our hands, Moxie.
Some of these scorelines, I feel, don't do justice to how close some of this Overwatch has been too. So we can have a look, because of the results of today, of what the schedule for tomorrow is going to be. You heard it from Anj. They are going to be going up against EXO. They think it's going to be an incredibly close series. So I, for one, am incredibly happy that we're going to get a front row seat into that one, Dustin. I think that has the chances of being able to go the distance. And then, obviously, Twisted Mind's going to be watching very, very closely to see who their opponent is going to be, whether they're going to have to take a very fast rematch against EXO, or whether or not they're going to have to rerun back on Triple Esports, and we once again get that absolute monumentous dogfight between Labda, potentially Turkey, but Yazan for sure.
We'll have to see. Maybe Ex-Oblivion are going to play spoiler for that one, but obviously on the side of North America, later on today, we've got Timeless versus Saints, and that's going to be a matchup I'm personally going to watch. Meanwhile, I have Trick Room and O3 Splash as well. So very similar format that we saw in Europe. We're seeing that again in North America, guys. So I guess you're not going to want to miss that either. And take a look at the overall bracket as well in North America, Moxie. What can you say about NA so far?
Well, I mean, the biggest surprise has got to be the fact that one team name is missing from that lineup, and that's Wisp. Wisp got knocked out of upper bracket and then knocked out of lower bracket, and they went undefeated in regular season, and they are out of the tournament entirely. So it's going to be very interesting to see what some of these teams have in terms of strategies, because they've already shown significant growth moving from regular into playoffs.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited to see what happens so far in NA. It seems like it's all over the place at the moment. But guys, that'll be it from us. Make sure, like I said, to use our hashtag OWPTB2023. So thank you for coming to the stream so far today. We had some awesome games, and we have more for you later when North America comes. So try to stick around for when that drops by. In the meantime, guys, adios for now. It's myself, Dustin, and Moxie out.
Are your Dragon Blades missing the mark?
Do you want to go from a bad Genji to a pro Genji?
Looking for that next big thing to rank up and improve your gameplay?
Well, look no further than our brand new Overwatch Contenders Genji skin! With our exclusive custom-made hoodie, your Genji gameplay will automatically be taken up a notch.
And you'll look more stylish as you team wipe fight after fight.
Just look at that stitching.
To acquire your sick Genji threads,
So you can destroy in ranked and dominate all your enemies.
dude, chill.
Sorry, man, I'm just getting into it.
All you have to do is connect your Battle.net account to Twitch.
After that, watching Overwatch Contenders will contribute to your drops progress.
Letting you claim each magnificent offering, including the keen blade of Overwatch Contenders Genji.